Hi, friends. This is a book that I would have read to you right after lunch for really no reason except I love it, and I wanted to make sure we didn't end kindergarten without reading it together. One of the reasons I really love this book is because of the author and illustrator. The author, Matt DiLaPena, is the same person that wrote the book Love that we read on Valentine's Day, and I just love that book so much. And I also love this book because of the illustrator, Christian Robinson. He illustrated School's First Day of School. Do you remember reading that book together way back in the beginning of kindergarten? Remember, it was about a brand new school that was having its first day of school, and there was a little girl who cried and said that she didn't like school, and everyone was nervous, but in the end it turned out okay. Well, those two men got together and they wrote this book, Last Stop on Market Street. If you look at the illustrations, it kind of reminds you of school's last day of school, where the people and the buildings look like cut paper. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. Can you see him? Can you tell which one is CJ? The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. Oh, it's sprinkling. It's raining. Have you ever been outside before and it kind of smelled like it was about to rain? The air smells heavy. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but he never saw a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flowery petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in and gave CJ a wave and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the door swung open. Look what's painted on the bus. Can you tell? It looks like a dragon that breathes fire. So by looking at this, we know that CJ and his Nana probably live in a bigger city. They have a bus stop, and they have a big bus. Right? I wonder where they're going. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a "good afternoon." She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped. Lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." I wonder where they're going. The author hasn't told us yet. "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip on by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. How come that man can't see? Boy, what do you know about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. Can you see that that is a service dog and that man is blind, or he has like low vision? It reminds me of our friend Alasia. That's a fact. Their noses, too, the man said, sniffing the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Can you see what he's wishing for? See how they have like a phone or maybe an iPod and they're listening to music on the headphones? Nana set down her knitting. What for? You got the real living thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. To feel the magic of the music, the blind man whispered, I like to close my eyes. Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. Can you imagine the guitar music, what it would sound like? It looks like CJ's enjoying it. Can you tell? With his eyes closed, he has a smile on his face. It looks like he's imagining butterflies. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves. He saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended, and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. That's the name of the book, friends. Can you figure out why the author named it that? I think that's because that's where CJ and his Nana are getting off. Now we get to find out where they're going. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? He smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. It's hard to see, I'm sorry friends, but there's a real rainbow in between those two buildings. If I turn the page, you'll see it a little better. Do you see it above the buildings now? So now we know the authors told us they're going to a soup kitchen. Do you know what a soup kitchen is? A soup kitchen is a place where if people don't have enough food, they can go and get a free meal without having to pay for it. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. Oh, look, it must be the Sunglass Man and Bobo and, I forgot her name, but she got a new hat. But I think Nana was right. There's a lady with a hat. There's some people in line. A dog in a cart. He thought his Nana might laugh, her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, Me too, CJ. Now, come on. So there people are sitting and eating their meal together. Do you see CJ and Nana yet? Do you see them now? Do you see they have white hats on? They have hairnets on covering their hair. They're serving lunch at the soup kitchen. And that is one way that you can help your community, friends. I hope you like Last Stop on Market Street.